A French court has handed down a 3-year suspended jail term to Equatorial Guinea's Vice President Childeren Obiang in absentia after finding him guilty of embezzlement and corruption. Now, the Paris court found Obiang, a 48-year-old and eldest son to the oil-rich West Africa President Childeren Obiang, guilty of embezzlement and has ordered the confiscation of more than 100 million euros worth of his French assets. Obiang is known for his lavish lifestyle, his luxury residence in Paris often favored by wealthy African expatriates and politicians. Two white farmers in South Africa who forced a black man into a coffin in August of 2016 have now been sentenced to jail for more than 10 years each. Now, Theo Martins Jackson and Willem Oostersen were jailed 14 years and 11 years respectively for attempted murder and kidnapping. The men had accused Victor Mlotswa of trespassing on their land. They beat him up, made him get into a coffin, and even threatened to burn him alive. Now, the case had caused outrage in South Africa, highlighting racial tensions in the country and in some farming communities. Judge Sheila Mpalele said her sentence was influenced by the fact that the men seemed to have been driven by racism when they attacked Mr. Mlotswa and had shown no remorse during the entire proceedings. Analysts say for citizens to watch on live television, a black female judge sentencing white males for a racist attack on a young black man is a sign that things are changing in the nation which was defined in its past by racial supremacy. Now, the incident definitely, or shall I say, joined us in South Africa Bureau Chief, Detty Dibia, to take a look at the case there in South Africa, Johannesburg Bureau Chief, that is. Great to have you on Network Africa, Betty.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's start by looking at this whole incident, which happened almost a year ago with very strong evidence against the two white farmers. Why did it take so long to reach a verdict?
Well, I wouldn't say it took long. Remember the case, the incident happened late last year, and factor the time for investigation, factor the time that the video was put out there and it went viral, and then it seemed to the end of the case at this time before 2017 rounded up. I don't think it took long, but for the victim and those who have been watching, many believe that justice has been served and it wasn't delayed because they had been found guilty earlier and the sentencing was just today.
All right, has there been any opposition to this verdict, Betty? Betty, I wanted to find out, has there been any opposition to the verdict concerning the two white farmers?
When the verdict was given, not the verdict, the sentencing was given, the accused persons indicated they will be appealing, which they did. They're appealing for leave to appeal against it. And the judge went in, came out and denied them the right, the leave to appeal. But they still have options. They could approach the Supreme Court of Appeal in this case, but they were denied that and their bill was revoked. So effectively, they will be going in pending any, if they decide to go directly to the Supreme Court of Appeal for to seek a different outcome.
All right, Betty, one last one before I let you go. Are there any laws put in place at the moment to ensure such discriminatory acts are unacceptable in South Africa?
Of course, I guess in every other country you have it, but in South Africa specifically, given the history of the country, it's quite still sensitive. They said 23 years after apartheid ended. But remember, apartheid went on for many decades. It would take long for the prejudices to go or traces of it. So here and there we still have incidents where it rears its ugly head. But from the constitution of the country to the Bill of Rights and to the laws of the land, and there are also bodies in place, including the South African Human Rights Commission, who see or address these issues whenever they come up. So there are things in place, the laws in place, the institutions in place to see to the end, because the country's sensitive history always affects or colors a lot of things that take place in the country, including this one. And we have so many other cases. We still have people complaining about some ads that have racist things product ads, tweets, and some of the comments that people make. But there are laws in place indeed, and institutions as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Betty Dibia, our Johannesburg Bureau Chief, for your thoughts on the program Network Africa.